walk you through a quick booty workout that you can do from the comfort of your own home with very minimal equipment. So what you're gonna need is a mat, water bottle, and then a resistance band. If you don't have a band, that's fine. You can complete every exercise that we're gonna do together today without one. But if you have one, it will add a little bit of extra resistance and make it a little bit harder. So what I'm gonna have us start with is we're gonna grab our band and I want you to place it above your knees. So just like this. And then our first exercise is gonna be a squat, and we're gonna do 3 rounds of 20 reps. So what I want you to think about as you're doing your squat is driving your heels into the ground. So pushing down into the floor, especially as we push our body up, okay? And I also want you to focus on coming up straight instead of pushing forward. And I'll show you a quick demonstration of what I mean. So I would want you to come from here and then just up straight. So you don't want to overextend because you're going to compress your lower back. So think just push into the floor, straight up, okay? So for this one, we are going to do 2 sets of 20 reps. And I'm gonna have you guys get into position with me and we're gonna get started. So let's find our stance. Notice that I'm a little bit wider than hip width and my toes are slightly angled outwards, okay? So I'll have you guys find your stance and then we'll start together. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, push 4, 5, 6, feel that contact, 7, 8, 9, 10, we're halfway there, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, guys, take a little second, grab some water. And I lied to you guys. I'm gonna have you do 3 rounds. I'm sorry, it's 3 rounds of 20, okay? But always make sure I refer back to the program before I tell you guys what we're doing. All right, so take a second longer and then we're gonna go into our our second set. And it's gonna be exactly the same thing. So finding our stance, feeling the floor, and let's begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, we're almost there, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, guys, another little break and then we'll do our final set. And then we're gonna move on to our next movement. All right, guys, let's get ready. I'm gonna crack my door open a little bit, get a little fresh air. All right, guys, let's get ready again together. Finding our stance, feeling the floor through our feet. Think your heel, big toe and pinky. And let's get this last set over with. So let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, feel the floor, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, guys, take a second. Our next exercise is gonna be a staggered stance squat. So with the staggered stance, we're gonna focus through one leg at a time. So I'll talk to you guys about the positioning. So right now I'm in a regular stance squat position. Then I'm gonna drop one leg back, balance up on the toe. Then we're gonna repeat the same squatting movement, but this time I want you still to think pushing the knees out. One leg is just gonna be back. And I'm gonna show you from the side. So this would be regular stance. Pop that foot back, up on the toe, and then you would squat. Keeping a lot of your weight in that front foot. As you come up, I like to imagine I'm kind of scooping my hip up and forward. So I'll show you guys from the front now. I'm in my stagger, still pushing my knees out. I'm gonna go down, kind of scoop hips forward. So for this one, I have us doing 3 sets of 20 per leg. And what we'll do is we'll do one leg. We won't break. We'll go right into the other leg. Once we've completed both sides, then we'll take a break, okay? So again, finding your regular stance, popping that foot back. Most of our weight now is in our front foot. So think again, heel, big toe, pinky of that front foot as you push your body up. All right, so again, regular stance squat, pop that foot back. And let's get ready to go. So, 1, pushing that front foot the most, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, I'll give you guys all a second in case you weren't quite on the same count as I was. And we'll get into the other leg, the same idea. So again, I'm in my regular stance. I'm gonna pop the other foot back this time. So think of pushing this knee out. And let's get it over with. So we're in our proper stance and let's begin together. So 1, we're gonna kind of scoop the hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, our first round is done, guys. Take a second, grab some water. Then we're gonna repeat that same thing twice. Whew. All right. So, it's always important to kind of take time to address one side at a time. If you have one leg that might be a little bit more dominant than the other, by isolating each, we now each give each side kind of a chance to work independently of the other. So you'll notice that we're gonna do a lot of isolation movements during this workout for that reason. All right, guys, let's get back into it. Start with that first leg that you started with. We're gonna get into our stance. Still remember to push the knees out. And let's begin. So, 1, scoop the hip up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Give you guys a second. And then we'll get that other leg out of the way. And then that will leave us with only one more round. And then after this, guys, we're only doing 2 sets of everything else, okay? So once we get these ones out of the way, we're gonna be doing just 2, which is a lot less aggressive than both. All right, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scoop the hip, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! All right, guys, take a minute. We have one more round of the staggered stance squat left to go, and then we're done that one. So just take a minute, grab some water. Whew. All right, guys, take one final breath, and then let's get back to it. And like I said, after this, we're only doing 2 sets of everything else. So this is our last of that 3 set. Whew. All right, guys, ready? Get into your position and let's begin together. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! All right, guys, I'll give you a second again. Then we'll get into that next foot and last foot. Whew. All right, so take a couple seconds longer and then we'll do that last side. So we can get into our position though, start thinking about getting ready to go. And then let's do it, okay? Let's get it over with. So, 1, 2, 3, scoop the hip up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! All right, guys, take a minute, grab some water. You can leave your band on because for the next exercise, we're gonna have it in the same position. And the next one, we're gonna be seated on the ground, so it's gonna act kind of as more of a restful exercise. We're still gonna feel it quite a bit in our glutes because our next movement is 2 sets of 30 pumps of seated abduction. So, we would be on our mat, just like this. You're gonna have your hands placed behind you, and then keeping your chest up in a nice posture, we would then push our knees out, and then slowly let them come back in. And I'll angle myself this way so you can see. So again, I'm pushing my knees out, and slowly coming in. So when you come in, I want you to make sure though that you still feel a little bit of tension on the band. You don't want to come all the way together so that there is no resistance left, okay? So you want to keep a slight amount of tension at the in position. So, that being said, Let's get started together. So I'll have you find your seat. Have your band just above your knees. Nice upright posture. And let's begin. So we're gonna pump out. Hold for a second and come in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Think of your glutes. 10. You can even close your eyes. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, almost there, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, guys, take a second, and then we're gonna do our final round of our seated abductions. Whew. And I find that when I do movements that are really meant to specifically only target my glutes, really helps if I shut my eyes. Kind of take away any other stimulant and just focus in and think of where you want to feel the exercise. So, that being said, let's start again together. So we're gonna be on our mat. Make sure your posture is nice and upright, and let's begin. So 1, 2, I invite you to close your eyes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Whew. All right, guys, so by now I hope you're feeling your glutes as much as I am. Take a second, and then we're gonna move on to our next exercise, which is gonna be an explosive glute bridge. So as you guys break, I'm gonna start my demonstration. So we would be on our mat, lying on our back. I want you to make sure that you have a posterior pelvic tilt. So from here, and go up. Find that contact with your lower back and the floor, as you can see here. I'm gonna invite you to put your elbows on the floor and create fists with your hands. This is a great way to create more tension in your body so that you feel it a little bit more in your glutes. So by driving the elbows down, squeezing our hands, we're gonna create more tension. So from here, what it's gonna look like is you're gonna explode up, squeeze, and then back down. Explode up, squeeze, and back down. Notice that when I come down, I'm just hovering over the floor and not completely hitting the ground. And since we are being quite explosive, it would really be just up, squeeze, and down. Just like this. And for this one, I have us doing, okay, so we are doing 30 reps. So 2 sets of 30. Nice and explosive. Think of your glutes, really squeeze at the top. So let's get ready. Again, I'm gonna position my pelvis upwards, find the floor with my back, and then we're gonna get started. And I'm gonna count quite fast because with this one we wanna really use speed to bring our hips up, squeeze, and then speed as we come down. So let's get ready. I'm pushing my knees out. I'm finding contact with the floor through my lower back as well as my feet. And let's get started. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Woo! So I know that one went by fast, but the whole purpose is to make it fast, explode, up, kind of confuse our muscles as to what we're doing. But by the time you're done, you really feel it. So take a second, and then we're gonna repeat that same thing again. Whew. So again, I'm gonna find that position, make sure that I have contact. Let's take a little second longer and then we'll go together. Enjoy your break on your mat. And then, let's get it done. So I'm pushing my knees out, my lower back is flat, fists in my hands, pushing my elbows into the ground. I'm gonna get ready to go. So, let's do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. So, I always find that the second set is a lot harder since your glutes kind of already know what to expect. So you really feel it. All right guys, take a second, grab some water. Because our next exercise, oh man, so we are gonna do a bandit side step, superset with a backwards squat walk, again with our band. So what I would have you do is you would start one end of your mat, get down, walk, all the way to the end, and then we would walk back. As soon as you get here, turn, walk backwards, pushing your heel into the floor, and then turn, and bring it back. So that is exactly what it would look like every time you step, guys. I want you to think, again, of pushing your foot into the ground. As you do your backwards walk, you can think that you're kind of pushing the floor away from you through your heels. So I'll give you a second, and then we're gonna start. Whew. So, side step back and forth, and then backward step back and forth. That's gonna count as one. We're gonna do it twice, okay? And I want you to make sure that as you're stepping, you're keeping a nice amount of distance between your feet to keep that tension around your knees the whole time. And we're gonna lean a little bit forward, so we should be about here as you step, okay? So on that note, let's get ready to go. So feet are nice and far apart the whole time. They're not gonna come any closer than this, okay? So let's begin, nice and slow. Feel the floor. We're gonna step, and then when you're at the end of the mat, let's go back. Nice and slow, feel the floor. Don't rush it. And then we're gonna rotate, and we're gonna go backwards. So same thing, push heels into the floor as if you're pushing the floor away from you. Then we're at the end of the mat. Let's turn and go backwards, pushing the floor through our heels, pushing away, keeping tension at our knees. Whew. Take a minute, guys, and then we're gonna repeat that same thing. Find that backwards walk. Almost gets you more than the side step, but in a good way. Whew. All right, a little bit of a longer break, and then we start again. So, let's get back into position. Top of your mat. And then let's get ready to go. So, we're gonna let our hips go back, squat down, keep that distance, and let's begin stepping. So we're gonna step. Keep stepping until you're at the end of your mat. Feel the floor. And then let's go back. Same idea. Keep that distance. Feel the floor under your feet every step that you take. And now we're at the end, so let's turn around. And we're gonna go backwards, pushing that floor away from us as we step. Keeping that tension. And come backwards, same thing, pushing the floor as you step back. Whew. All right, guys, take a second. We have one exercise left to finish off our workout. And we are gonna do a squat into an alternating kickback, and I have us doing 2 sets of 20. So that would be 10 kicks per leg. So grab a bit of water. And then we're gonna begin that. So I'm gonna demonstrate for you. I wanna make sure that my hips are back a little bit. My torso is nice and straight. I'm not arching my back. I'm nice and in line. Then, what we're gonna do is squat down. As you come up, you're gonna initiate a kick. And switch. If you find that balance is a little bit challenging for you, you could hold a wall and do it, or you could hold a chair, okay? So we have options. All right, so like I said, 20 reps, so we are gonna be alternating sides. Make sure that your hips are back. As you come up from the squat, that's when you're gonna initiate your kick. Just like this. So, let's get it over with. This is our last exercise of this workout. All right, let's do it. So we're gonna squat down and kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, keep going guys, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you're almost there, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. All right guys, take a minute, we have one more round. And then, we're gonna do a very nice stretch to finish things off. Whew. All right, couple more seconds of break and then we're gonna finish this exercise off for our workout. And then we're gonna stretch. This is a really rewarding part of the workout because you know that you've worked hard and you give your body a little thank you by stretching at the end. All right, so I'm gonna face forward. Let's get ready. So we're gonna come down and kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, this is the magical moment where you can take off your band. Grab a little water, and then we will start our stretching sequence. So for your stretch, I would like you to start in a tabletop position. And from here, I'm gonna have you arch your back up, and then let's let our heart sink down. And we're just gonna go back and forth between the two. Rounding up and sinking down. All right, guys, so from here, I'm gonna have you switch onto your back. And I want you to cross one leg over the other and
one leg over the other and one leg over the other and One leg over the other.
So from here, I'm gonna have you switch sides. We're gonna interlock your fingers now behind the other leg, gently pushing this one away. You might notice that one side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. It's very common, so if you find that one side is a bit worse, hold it a little bit longer. Alright, so from here, I'm gonna have you guys come into a very wide stance. I want you to drop down so that your elbows are just above your knees. Let's just sit here for a second. You should feel a nice stretch kind of through your hip flexors here. And let's just hold. And from here, let's come up. I'm gonna have you stand. I want you to do a roll. So you're gonna start through your shoulders. And then we're gonna roll all the way down. And then from here, roll all the way up. Let's do that 2 more times. So we initiate with our shoulders and roll forward. And then from here, let's roll all the way up. We have 1 more. Alright guys, so that is the end of our booty workout. I'm going to be posting videos every Tuesday night so that they're ready for you guys on Wednesdays. So Wednesday is going to be our designated booty workout day, and so stay tuned for next week. I'm going to have another video ready for you guys then as well.